Thank you so much for your undivided attention. My name is Richard Jones, as most of you know, and on behalf of Mayor Reardon and all the elected officials and my fellow city employees, I'd like to welcome you to the City of Newburyport State of the City for 2025. I hate to say this every year, but if you have any electronic device on you, could you turn it off? Wonderful. The Newburyport Police Honor Guard will now post the colors. I did mean that. The color guard here. Oh, right on. Further evidence of time to retire. I did notice when I drove down here, my blinker was on the whole way. So, I'd like to take this opportunity to acknowledge some of our current and former elected officials here today, starting with Governor Maura Healey. Thank you for coming. State Auditor Diana DiZoglio, how are you? State Senator Bruce Tarr, the one, the only. Representative Don Shan, the one and only for sure. In fact, when I look over there, you're the only one I can see. Mayor Sean Reardon, I guess I mentioned you. Essex County District Attorney Paul Tucker, wonderful to see you, Paul. Kevin Coppinger, maybe not arrived yet, but former Sheriff Frank G. Cousins Jr. is here. Hi, Frank. Amesbury Mayor Cole, how are you? And I should mention, I should apologize, because a year ago I kind of rubbed in the fact that we beat you at Thanksgiving. And now I have to eat some humble pie, don't I? I do. Holyoke Mayor Josiah Garcia. Not arrived, but coming. We have the mayor.
But Michael Nicholson, the mayor of Gardner, is here.
Yes, that's what I was about to say, Mayor Michael Nicholson. I'm sharper than you think, Mayor. From Gardner, thank you so much for making it all the way. Former mayors, Lisa Mead, Mary Carrier, Mary Ann Clancy, John F. Moak, and Donna D. Holliday. Thank you for coming. And last, certainly not least, Superintendent of Schools, Sean Gallagher. Have I missed anyone? We have the following city councilors here also. Councilor Cameron, Councilor Donahue, Councilor Granis is, I'm sorry, he's not here. He's on his way to Antarctica. Councilor Harmon, Councilor Khan, Councilor Lane, Councilor McCauley, Councilor Preston, Councilor Shan, Councilor Wright, and Councilor Zeed. That may be one of the last roll calls you have to endure with me. And the following school committee members: Andrew Boger, Brian Callahan, Sarah Hall, who's the chair, Brianna Higgins, Sean Reardon, ex officio, Kathleen Shaw, and Juliet Walker. Thank you all for coming. Today, the 69th mayor of the city will give his State of the City address. The program essentially has four parts. First, we're honored to have remarks from Diana DiZoglio, State Auditor, followed by Governor Maura Healey. Following these remarks, the mayor will deliver the State of the City address, and then he'll present the annual Public and Community Service Awards. We look forward to that. Now, if you'd be so kind as to please stand and remain standing for the national anthem, the Pledge of Allegiance, and the opening prayer. I should mention that we are pleased today to have the Newburyport High School Chorus singing the national anthem.
dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. We will now be led in the Pledge of Allegiance by Sadie Reardon, Ruby Reardon, and Ollie Reardon. Coming up. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Beautiful. Thank you. For an opening prayer, I now last call upon Reverend Anna Smolowitz, who want to come up, from the Interfaith Hospice. The microphone is yours.
Dear Newburyport community, esteemed dignitaries and elected officials, thank you for the opportunity to be part of the opening for the City of Newburyport State of the City Address. I offer special thanks to Mayor Reardon and especially the recipients of the Public and Community Service Awards. I am honored to read the eloquent words written by my dear friend, Reverend Helen Murgida, who was to give this prayer last year. And this is what she wrote. I am Reverend Helen Murgida, affiliate minister at the First Religious Society, Unitarian Universalist. Holy One, known by many names and beyond all names, Spirit of life, Spirit of love, Spirit of community, Spirit of justice. We ask your blessings on the people who have been called to lead the community in which we live and work and play. Help them as leaders to not ask first, how do we fix this, but what do we need to learn? How might we need to change? And to whom do we need to listen? Remind them, because we all forget from time to time, especially in the noisiness of what passes for political debate today, that they are not only leaders but also servants, and that it is their responsibility and ours to serve the common good of all. Remind them that no matter where we live, everyone, gay, straight, transgender, black or white, Hispanic or Asian, Muslim, Jew, Hindu, Sikh, or atheist, is our neighbor, our sibling, and that throughout the ages, prophets had called the leaders of the people to respect and protect the least of those among us, our children, the elderly, the poor, those who are hungry, those who have no homes, those who are ill in body, mind, or spirit, the strangers and immigrants in our midst, those who live on the margins, those who are alone, and those who are forgotten. Grant them and us the wisdom and courage to know and do what is right and good and true. May they and we speak out when it is time to speak out, and listen patiently and receptively when it is time to listen. May they and we always be guided by the spirit of community, by the spirit of justice, and by the spirit of love. This we pray in the names of all that we hold sacred and holy, all that we hold good and right and true. And may we all say, Amen.
I think everyone can sit down. Thank you so much, Reverend. At this point, I'm pleased to introduce the 23rd Auditor of Massachusetts, Diana DeZoglio. We know her well. She was our former state senator. She would say a few words, if you would. At this point, did you know you were speaking? I hope you knew. Great to see you. Podium is yours.
I just came tonight just to try to convince Mr. Clerk to stay on for another year or two. Mr. Clerk, we will really, really miss you, my friend. We will really miss you. Good evening, everyone. It's great to be back in Newburyport. It's great to be home. Thanks so much for the very gracious invitation, Mayor Reardon, to join you here tonight with so many wonderful friends from this amazing community. Thank you for the wonderful prayer and the remembrance. Thank you for that. And thank you so much to all of the community members who came out tonight to hear about the state of the city, all of the concerned residents, all of the residents, city workers, municipal workers, volunteers, advocates, and neighbors who care about what's going on in local government. There's some really, really important stuff going on. And Mayor Reardon, actually, when he invited me here tonight, he had asked me to talk about the work of my office. So I hope that you will be entertained with roughly 25 minutes regarding tales of auditing. Because I know how thrilling the subject matter of auditing really is to people. I did not, Mr. Mayor, I'm sorry, bring my green eye shades and my pencil sharpener this evening. So I will not be boring you with those wonderful and exciting auditing stories. But I do want to just say a couple of things about Mayor Reardon and the great work that he's done in this community. I would be remiss not to, as somebody who was the state senator here for 4 years, actually, and had the honor and privilege of working alongside of many of you, who's wanted to see a lot of the great work that we got to start together continued on. And I'm so grateful to the mayor, the city councilors, and the school committee members, and so many folks for carrying on initiatives pertaining to river challenges, for example. Those issues regarding combined sewage overflow, making sure that the health of the Merrimack River is something that we keep front and center regarding our conversations, making sure that we are ensuring that Plum Island, Councilor Zaid, I see you over there, that Plum Island is not facing as many challenges as it should be facing, and making sure that the real needs and concerns of residents in this community regarding all residents of this community, not just those who are of age to vote, but also our youth are also addressed. And that's why I'm so excited that the work of making sure that that new youth center comes along has been carried forward, that's been shepherded forward. And I want to thank you, Mayor, for leading the charge on that. And thank you to everybody here who has put the youth of this community front and center. They are our future. They need to be invested in. And I'm so proud of Newburyport for stepping up to the plate, for working on that project, for working through some of those more challenging discussions to make sure that there is a recreational opportunity here for children and all community members in the great city of Newburyport. Thanks for building upon the work of former Mayor Holliday, who I have to give a shout out to. She and I actually together worked to create that Merrimack River District Commission. And I want to thank you for your leadership, Mayor. And I thank you for your leadership in continuing that work on and making sure that that great work continues. Friends, there are so many opportunities in the city of Newburyport, so many great partnership opportunities with the state of Massachusetts. And I know our governor is going to talk about some of those opportunities this evening as well. But I will just end with saying, thanks for supporting transparency and accountability, Mr. Mayor. Thank you so much for supporting the legislative audit that we've been working on. Thank you for making records available to your communities, to auditors, to people who want to see how their tax dollars are being spent. Those are really, really important issues, and it's something that your local officials here really do understand. And I want to thank you for championing causes like that sometimes can go under the radar, that don't get talked about as much. We can't have debates even without basic transparency, without the ability to know what it is that we're talking about and being able to access information. Knowledge is power. We all read it on the chalkboards when we were younger. Knowledge is power, and power belongs to the people. So thanks for creating opportunities for the residents of Newburyport. Thanks for opening up your doors, for letting us participate in the process alongside of you, those who live in the city of Newburyport, and those of us who frequently visit generally at your downtown restaurants and coffee shops. I'll see you all there. Thank you so much. Mr. Clerk, back to you.
Thank you, Auditor. So now it's my distinct pleasure to introduce our next speaker, who is the Governor, Governor Maura Healey, the 73rd Governor of Massachusetts. As some of you know, the Governor's grandparents came from about a mile away. Her mother's here, which is, how are you, Tracy? You have such strong Newburyport roots, and we're rooting for you. I want you to know that. However, I have to admit, I did a little research about the governor, and maybe some of you knew this. I didn't know. She was actually captain, point guard, on the Harvard College basketball team. And following that, she played professionally in Europe for an Austrian team for 2 years. Do I have that right? So I don't know if anyone else knows, but Mayor Reardon comes from a very athletic basketball. I played with his father. Well, I was going to get to that because I was thinking, does anyone like the idea of a one-on-one basketball matchup? We're talking about a pay-per-view special, raising a lot of money. So just by a show of hands, how many think Mayor Reardon's going to win? Thank God for family. Okay, how many think the governor's going to win it? Oh. I'm going to stop there before I get in further trouble. I'm going to hand it over to the governor. Thank you so much.
It's great. Thank you so much, Mr. Clerk. I was just commenting, he did a portrait once of a family member, and I was remarking on that, and he said, I should do your portrait. And I said, well, give me a couple more years, or maybe 6, because that's when they usually do the governor's portraits, when they're out the door. But thank you, and thank you for your many years of service. It's really, really special to be in Newburyport. And quick little follow-on to that story. A reason that I really took to basketball is because when I was little, my grandparents took me, Jamie's here tonight, up to see his sisters play, Mary Beth and Mimi Ryan. And they were Clippers. And was your dad their coach? I'm trying to think of the time. But Sue Coffey was? Okay. But it was awesome. And I was like wide-eyed, and I was given little gold and maroon seamed basketballs, and I was off and running. So I just want to say, to bring it back to Newburyport, you know, go Clippers. Go Clippers. Thank you so much, Mayor Reardon, for the invitation to join everyone here tonight. I thought it was beautiful to have the Reverend open and to recite the words of Reverend Helen Murgida. Matthew is here tonight, and I read a lot about your mother, what a remarkable woman she was, and what a lasting impact she made and continues to make, as seen tonight in some of the Service Award honorees. So our hearts are with you. To my colleagues and friends in government, Auditor DeZoglio, Senator Tarr, Representative Shand, Skip and Frank, love you. Our former good sheriff, D.A. Tucker, Sheriff Coppinger. It's members of the City Council and School Committee. I know we have the litany of storied Newburyport mayors here tonight, which is wonderful, continuing a tradition. We also have mayors from other parts, right? Amesbury, that's love, right? Amesbury's in the house. Mayor Gove's here. Wow. Mayor Garcia? Did Mayor Garcia make it from Holyoke? Whoa. Mayor Mike Nicholson, all the way from Gardner, right? Chair Capitol. Yes, we're going to bring that back. So it just says a lot about their respect and regard for your mayor, Mayor Reardon. Members of clergy, community leaders, Police Marshal Simons, Fire Chief Bradbury, all the hardworking public employees of this great city. Thank you for all that you do. And to the people of this great city, good evening. To your family, it takes a lot of support to do our jobs, and we don't make it easy. This is going to become a shock to you. We don't make it easy on people at home. So to Jesse and to Sadie and to Ruby and Oliver, great job on the pledge, and thank you for supporting your dad and your husband. Needless to say, Newburyport is one of my favorite places in the world. It's the city where my roots are. It's where my family's story began. Some of them landed on the Parker River back in 1636. It's where my great-great-grandfather, just 16 years old, signed up to fight for the Union in the Civil War. It's where my parents grew up on High Street and Chapel Street, Immaculate grad, Newburyport High grad. Members of my close family and dear friends still live here today. It's like a second hometown to me, and I've been spending time in Newburyport my entire life. I may have even ordered a drink from you back when you bartended at Park Lunch. I don't know. I also know something about Newburyport in that, you know, when I think about Massachusetts, and I have the benefit of being governor and seeing all 351 of our great cities and towns, there's something really special about this place. It's rich history and natural beauty, which, you know, stretches from Joppa out to Moseley Pines and the artichoke and in and around everywhere. It's awesome. It's people, hardworking, self-reliant from the very beginning. Also, a community that welcomes people, and I thank you, whether they're Afghani settlers here or so many others who've come to this community over the last centuries. Newburyport's been that kind of place with a big heart. Proud of its past, always looking forward to the future, and intent on building a brighter path for those who follow. There's a reason that Massachusetts is #1 right now in America for having the best schools, safest neighborhoods, and cleanest air and water. We're ranked the best state in the country to raise a family. It's because of places like Newburyport and the way Newburyporters do their things, where people care about one another and care about their community. It's also why the relationship between state and our local governments are so important to me. We work, as the auditor said, together, just like we expect our residents to do, to work together, to focus not on the politics, but on service and delivering for people. And it's why my team is committed to supporting our local communities, to getting communities like Newburyport and all you others funding. I say this everywhere I go. Funding schools, right? Roads, the basics that you need to serve your communities. And I look forward to continued partnership with you. I know that local is where people live. It's where people need to see results delivered. And for that to happen, you need leaders who care, people who really, really care. And that takes vision, hard work, and collaboration to lead a city. And Newburyport has that kind of talent in the leader of Mayor Sean Reardon. He's prioritized some of the basics: public safety, basic foundations for quality of life, economic development that delivers opportunity while building on what makes a community strong, public spaces that bring people together. I've seen them in a lot of gyms, but I've seen them elsewhere too, supporting people out there, advocating for preservation of natural beauty and coastal resilience and a whole lot of things, advocating for housing for our seniors and for families who we want to see have the ability to thrive in a great community like Newburyport. I'm going to continue to support you, Mr. Mayor, on housing. I appreciate the good people of Newburyport who have seen their way through to compliance with the MBTA communities law. Thank you for recognizing the needs of others in this community and the vibrancy, the good that more housing brings to residents, to businesses, to our local economies. So on these issues and so much more, Mayor Reardon has been a great leader, a great partner, a great collaborator. We're depending on him, leaders like him, to help us move Massachusetts forward. And we depend on communities like Newburyport, a city of deep roots and strong bonds and a bright future to help set the tone and lead the way. So I look forward to supporting you here for years to come. And it is now my honor to bring forward the man of the hour to introduce for his 2025 State of the City Address, Mayor Sean Reardon.
Wow. How do I top that? Well, the auditor already stole my line about talking for the next 45 minutes on what's going on in Newburyport, but Governor Healey, Auditor DeZoglio, Senator Tarr, Representative Shan, District Attorney Tucker, I don't think Sheriff Coppinger's here, but he's a great partner, Sheriff Coppinger, Council President Cameron, City Councilors, school committee members, city staff, Jesse, Sadie, Ruby, Ollie, Mom, Dad, Ron and Sheila, Newburyport community members, and everyone joining us tonight. Thank you for attending and giving me this opportunity to deliver my third State of the City address to you all. It is the honor of a lifetime to serve as mayor of the great city of Newburyport. This evening, we celebrate the recipients of the third annual Public and Community Service Awards and the first recipient of the Reverend Helen Murgida Award. The memory of Reverend Helen is very present tonight, as she tragically died the night of the State of the City last year. We will honor her memory a little later in the evening by recognizing Newburyporters who have made exemplary contributions to this community. We will also reflect on the many, many accomplishments and challenges we have overcome in order to move this city forward. Now, as I begin my 4th year as mayor, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts begins its celebration of its 250th anniversary of the American Revolution. Newburyport has a proud history of fostering great leaders, change makers, revolutionaries, entrepreneurs, faith leaders, and artists, all of whom have helped advance our community forward. Like a clipper ship in rough seas, it can be easy to lose our direction when national and world events create uncertainty, division, and angst. But in tumultuous and uncertain times, not unlike the period we are currently in, Newburyporters have been at the forefront of progress because we continuously followed our principles. In the late 1700s, as our country expanded trade and commerce around the world, Newburyporters on the wharfs of the Merrimack built the first clipper ships to police our coasts from pirates, smugglers, and disease. This was the origin of the U.S. Coast Guard, an agency that works tirelessly across the nation to keep our coastal cities safe. In the late 1800s, when the horrors of slavery plagued our divided country, a courageous and outspoken abolitionist from Newburyport, William Lloyd Garrison, along with many others, dared to write and speak up for equality and justice. Brave families across the city joined the Underground Railroad to help guide enslaved individuals towards freedom. Since then, Newburyporters have remained committed to fostering a community that is welcoming and inclusive for all, regardless of race, gender, class, age, or background. In the late 1900s, when our country's economy was shifting and the downtown was declining, our community came together and rejected a proposal to tear down our historic downtown buildings, instead protecting and invigorating them, and defending the historic integrity and defining character of our city. This act became a national example of how historic preservation can save a community from blight and neglect. Throughout history, Newburyporters have been guided by our principles and relied on our strong sense of community. This has allowed us to continuously make progress towards our future while remaining true to our character. Our commitment to safety, accessibility, resiliency have been the beacons guiding us towards a better tomorrow. If we remain committed to these shared goals and guiding principles, then the state of our city will remain strong. My administration is committed to advancing these principles of safety, accessibility, and resiliency, and I'm proud to report that we have continued to make progress this past year. Now, on November 14th, the city opened the new state-of-the-art John F. Cutter Jr. West End Fire Station. This station represents a renewed commitment to safety in our community and demonstrates what a 21st century fire station should look like. A facility that is resilient, advances public safety, and allows for potential future growth. Not only will this fire station vastly improve the safety of our residents and businesses in the west end of the city, but its new modern amenities prioritize the health and well-being of our first responders, who work tirelessly and devote their lives to keeping us safe. This project is also the city's first net zero municipal building, becoming a model within our community as we make strides towards reducing our carbon footprint and keeping our environment safe for future generations. It was also built with an eye to the future by anticipating room for growth should we decide to provide our own ambulance service down the road. This project is a wonderful example of a community-wide effort, bringing together city departments, city councilors, residents, and stakeholders, all working together towards a common goal. Now, as many of you know, my grandfather, Chief Warren Oliver Page, was instrumental in the construction of the first West End Fire Station back in 1972. I know he would have been proud of our city for continuing our commitment to protecting residents and investing in our first responders. This year, I had the privilege of appointing Matt Simons as City Marshal, one of our finest first responders. He is a Newburyport native, dedicated to improving the quality of life in our community. The police department continues to respond and adapt to the needs and challenges of our residents by listening and through communication and relationship building. The department's commitment to maintaining the dignity and respect of every individual, regardless of the challenges they are facing, is commendable and a good reminder for all of us. This year, our officers under Matt's leadership we're able to make strides on one of the most important issues for residents, the safety of our streets and sidewalks. Police play a critical role in the enforcement and also assisted our Department of Public Services by conducting over 25 speed studies to help make our streets safer for motorists and pedestrians. This data directly informed the design of several traffic calming initiatives across the city, including the work at Lower Atkinson Common. We are removing angled parking off of Merrimack Street and making it safer for our residents to access the park. Now, during my first year in office, I promised to improve the city's streets and sidewalks. This continues to be a top priority among residents, and I'm proud to say we have made significant progress once again this year. With the support of City Council in 2024, we paved over 3 miles of streets and repaired over 13,000 linear feet of sidewalks. We have also made upgrades to our streetlights and crosswalks to ensure residents and visitors can safely access our city restaurants, shops, and small businesses. There is still work to be done, but we have a solid plan and process in place to keep us moving in the right direction. I look forward to beginning our next round of streets and sidewalk upgrades this coming year, including Noble Street, State Street, and Mosley Ave. Now, while we make strides to improve safety for our residents, we must also remain committed to being a welcoming and accessible city. The notion that everyone has a fair shot at pursuing their dreams and achieving their goals is an essential Newburyport principle. I remain committed to finding ways to dismantle barriers that prevent our neighbors from achieving their potential, whether that be access to affordable housing, ease in navigating the environment, or providing transparency in government. One particular group we aim to assist through our outreach policy and programming are our senior residents. This year, our Council of Aging provided over 2,400 rides to help our senior residents access essential services, medical appointments, and social gatherings. We also saw a 20% increase in program participation at the Senior Community Center. The city's commitment to our senior residents underscores our commitment to ensuring Newburyport remains a vibrant and supportive community for everyone. Across the Commonwealth, the housing crisis continues to stifle opportunity. Now, I'm a fifth-generation Newburyporter, and like many in this room, I've experienced and witnessed the struggle many families face to stay here. We find ourselves in a situation where many long-term residents can no longer afford to live here, and families struggle to get by. There is no silver bullet to solve these issues, but as the governor said in her State of the Commonwealth speech, if we want our kids to stay here, if we want families to put down roots, if we want seniors to be able to live in the towns they love, we need homes. I am proud to say we are working with the Healey-Driscoll administration and our development partners, our state delegation, and community groups to add new homes in our community. For years, the adaptive reuse of the Brown School was discussed as a possible site for senior affordable housing. Tonight, I am proud to say that we have come together as a community to make that idea a reality. Working with community stakeholders, the Affordable Housing Trust, city councilors, and our planning department, we proposed a development plan that will create 29 deeply affordable housing units for senior residents. Now, construction is still months away, but the project has demonstrated how a community can come together to find solutions to difficult challenges. Building on that spirit of collaboration, my administration worked with the City Council to expand our smart growth district near the train station in accordance with the MBTA community's guidelines. We also updated our accessory dwelling units, ADUs, zoning regulations to comply with the new guidelines under the Affordable Homes Act. These reforms might not make headlines locally, but they are vital to our holistic approach to tackling the housing crisis. We have also worked to activate spaces in town that have been dormant for many years. I am proud that my administration also reached an agreement with a developer to create 212 rental units at the former Kmart site in Port Plaza. 25% of these units will be affordable. This agreement increases our affordable housing stock and will provide more options for residents in the future. Now, at the same time, we continue to negotiate with New England Development to review plans for Waterfront West. We will engage in a public process to review the proposed development and deliberate any zoning changes that may come up. Now, I am confident, like with the Brown School project, that our community will work together through the various challenges and find a mutually beneficial outcome. I say this all the time, but collaboration is how difficult things get done. We have also made strides with our schools this year to provide our young people access to academic success. Our educators strive to ensure that every child who graduates from Newburyport High School is literate across all disciplines, physically, emotionally, and socially well, an innovative problem solver, and civically engaged for life after graduation. Newburyport Public Schools continue to be some of the best in the state, and I believe we can be even better. We have been designated Innovation Career Pathways District in the environmental and life sciences sector, and we plan on adding 2 more next year, manufacturing and healthcare. We also kicked off our trade school partnership with the Peterson School, so students at Newburyport High have more options in the trade fields after graduation. We are opening more doors for our students to achieve academically and prepare for the future. Now, as a father of 3, some of my best moments of my day are witnessing my kids achieve their goals, whether it's celebrating a basketball game or a soccer match, or obtaining an academic achievement. I think I can speak for most parents when I say these moments, witnessing the joys of our children, are priceless. Similarly, this past year, one of my favorite moments was the opening of the city's first universally accessible playground at the Bartlett Mall. This project epitomizes the notion of tearing down barriers, as its purpose is not to segregate children of varying levels of ability, but to integrate them so every child can explore, play, and socialize. Laughter and joy overflowed that day, and it was heartwarming to witness our community come together to celebrate such an achievement. I remain committed to finding ways to dismantle barriers, improve accessibility and equity, and reach our greatest potential as a community. Now, while we've made strides in advancing safety and accessibility, this year I'm also proud of the advancements we're making our city more resilient. We are a coastal community, and the challenges we face as the risks of sea level rise become clearer will need solutions both regionally and locally. At the same time, we are reminded that we can achieve great things at the local level, even if those challenges seem overwhelming in scale. We are a very resilient community that remains committed to ensuring future generations can live and prosper in the city we all love. The completion of Market Landing Park and the waterfront bulkhead are 2 great examples of how we can protect our city from the threats of sea level rise while continuing to beautify it. We demonstrated in these 2 projects that we can maintain our infrastructure and take on expansions of key assets while implementing sustainable improvements that will protect these assets over time. We can make our city more beautiful and secure against climate change at the same time. As part of our commitment to responsible stewardship this year, we are also integrating climate resiliency into projects that might not seem to appear that at first. For example, the recent improvements at Lower Atkinson Common, or the Pioneer League Field here in town, had a primary goal of increasing safety and accessibility of our beloved ballparks. But my team ensured that we were also forward-thinking in the design improvements by including stormwater wetland, gravel surfaces, and increased tree canopy to mitigate the risks of flooding and hotspots and ensure sustainability for years to come. Now, speaking of stormwater mitigation, I am proud that after many years of work in collaboration with residents, we have completed the Phillips Drive drainage project. This neighborhood experienced terrible flooding for many, many years. And after many years of thoughtful discussion and design, I am happy to say the construction is now complete. I want to thank the residents, the former administration, and City Council for their advocacy for this vital project. Beyond capital projects, our city makes strides every day to build a greener and more sustainable future. This year, we have expanded our composting program to our schools, City Hall, and Senior Center. More than 1,000 households now participate in this program, and we are currently working with restaurants to help them implement composting to reduce food waste. We are about to launch a regional sustainability plan, and this effort is to help meet those ambitious goals set by the state for reducing waste and energy by 2050. We are also proud to continue to be part of the Commonwealth's Green Communities program, whose state grants help support energy efficiency efforts that will allow us to continue to reach our sustainability goals in the future. Now, our city is in a strong financial position to invest in capital and infrastructure projects, and we must continue our responsible fiscal management and strategic planning to remain financially resilient. My administration is committed to finding ways to balance the tax burden our residents face, while also ensuring our capital projects prioritize our city's essential needs. My administration is pursuing new efficiencies to ensure residents' tax dollars continue to provide high-quality services. We have seen costs rise across the board, and we're finding ways to make every dollar count. I look forward to working with the council as we prepare this year's budget and capital improvement plan to align with our city's needs while also reflecting the principles that guide us. As we look ahead, these principles of safety, accessibility, and resiliency are not just guides, they are forces that will propel us into the future of promise. Moving forward, I feel like there's one project that aligns with all three of these principles: the construction of the Recreation and Youth Services Center at 59 Low Street. Newburyport is fortunate to have a dedicated team at Newburyport Recreation and Youth Services, NRYS, that supports positive youth development, organizes recreational activities, and provides support services for over 4,000 individuals and families in our community annually. Community input on this project has been immense, and the need is clear. Throughout the process, we have ensured that safety, accessibility, and resiliency have been guiding principles in the design of this project. We have worked to ensure that the traffic on Low Street will be addressed to ensure safe pedestrian access and that the building will be secure. We have ensured that spaces inside and outside the building are flexible, accessible, and welcoming in order to create new possibilities for all residents to build community, to learn new skills, and access essential services. And we have worked with our design team to ensure that the building itself will minimize environmental impacts and align with our sustainability goals. This building will provide a lasting legacy that will put our city in a strong position to serve the needs of current residents and unleash new opportunities for future generations. Since 2021, NRYS has been without a dedicated space to provide these services and supports to our community. And finding a space for them has been my administration's top priority. We worked collaboratively with staff, stakeholders, boards and commissions, and community members to find thoughtful solutions to each design challenge. And I am confident that the final project design provides the best value to the community, and we are now at the final stage, and we must commit to the funding for the construction of such an important project. Thank you. Now on Friday, February 14th, we hosted a bid opening that confirmed construction costs at $8.29 million. Now these costs aligned with our original estimates for the project. In order to fund the project, I proposed the city bond $2 million within our current levy limit and ask voters to approve a $4.5 million debt exclusion, which will equate to about $38 per year for an average homeowner with a home valued at over $1 million. This impact will be less for homes valued below $1 million. Now, proposing a debt exclusion was not an easy decision, but I am confident that our residents understands the needs and the value of building a recreation and youth services center that will provide adequate space for critical programming, a recreational gym space to support community health, and a place where vulnerable families can access critical mental health resources, all for $3 a month. Now, in the weeks ahead, our community will deliberate and evaluate this project. We may debate the financial costs, but I remind all of us to consider the cost of inaction. Success for recreation and youth services is not determined by revenue gained, but by rather the number of families and individuals served. Those interactions can have a lifelong impact, and we are confident they are worth the cost of a new space. At a time when divisive and ineffective politics rule the day at the national level, we have the opportunity to show there is a better way forward. We have the opportunity to create new housing to welcome new neighbors, to provide our most vulnerable residents the services they need, to strengthen our public safety for all residents, to show what it means to be a strong, resilient community. Just as prior generations of Newburyporters followed their guiding principles to protect our ports, champion freedom and inclusivity, and defend our defining historical character, we have an opportunity once again to advance progress and define ourselves as a forward-looking community that generates possibilities for the next generation of residents. We can all work together to make this vision a reality and keep the state of this city strong. Onward, forward. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. You guys could all tell I was losing my voice, so. Thank you. I'm trying to cut it down each time I do this, so I hope you guys are recognizing that. So it wasn't too bad. All right, so now I would like to invite our wonderful auditor up, and she's going to sing a song for us. Now you can do, there's a mic there. You can do it here. You can do whatever you want.
Oh, good. Really, I'm just hoping someone discovers me tonight, because as much as I love auditing right now, contrary to popular opinion, it wasn't what I was dreaming about doing in the 4th grade. I actually put down on my 4th grade paper when our teacher asked us what we were going to do when we grew up, and I was like, I'm going to be a famous singer. And then my hobby was work and make money. And I got it backwards, you guys, so I'm trying to fix that right now. Just wanted to sing a song for you tonight just to close this out for Mayor Sean Reardon and everyone, and thank you for the opportunity. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains, majesty above the fruited plains. America, oh America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brother and sisterhood, from sea to shining sea. There's more of that at the after party, y'all.
She never disappoints. Thank you, Auditor. So now I get to take over, and now I'm like more off book, but now I get to take over the MC duties from Clerk Jones so he can sit back and relax. But I would like to say a few words about Clerk Jones before we do that. First, I want to point out, you might notice there's a lot of bow ties in the crowd tonight. That's for the bow tie man himself, Clerk Jones. So I've literally known Richard Jones my whole life. And that's not a joke. That's literally my whole life. I've known Richard Jones. Richard grew up here in Newburyport, NHS class of 1968. He was he was a great friend to all, especially my Uncle Bob. And my mom still claims to have set Richard up with his wife Sheila. All right, well, I'm saying. Richard Burke Jones graduated from Holy Cross. He also clerked for my great uncle, Paul Brown, out in Columbus, Ohio. Richard first started to work for the city as a city solicitor under then Mayor Dick Sullivan. He then came back to the city as the city clerk when former clerk, John Moak, who is here with us tonight, became our mayor. Now, he served in the role of city clerk for 19 years and has emceed many of these events. And he's already mentioned Richard is retiring, and this will be one of his last official acts. He actually always approached his duties with common sense and humor, which we all appreciated. You might also heard he's quite the world-renowned artist. But in typical Richard fashion, he had his strict orders for no fanfare or party for his retirement. But I thought maybe one last standing ovation with the governor here tonight would be a great send-off for the great Richard Burke Jones. You're giving me a dirty look. I don't like it. Okay, on to the awards. And just a little thing on the awards. You know, when I first took office, I wanted to find a way to make the state of the city really special and just really honor. I mean, a big theme of my campaign, I think, was volunteerism and serving your community, but I wanted to find a way to honor all the great work that continues to happen in Newburyport. And, you know, as the governor was saying, you know, Newburyport is just such a special place. And we have people that volunteer and show up and speak up and help people every single day. And so, I mean, these awards are kind of about that. I wanted a way to honor all that great work that's happening across the city. And for those of you that don't know a little bit about the awards, you know, we have some public service awards. So, I mean, these have been boards and commissioners in the past, elected officials, people that work for the city. We have individual awards. So those are people just doing great work in our community. We have a business award, and then we actually have a youth award. And then just to talk a little bit, I added an award this year for Reverend Helen Murgida. And again, Matthew, thank you for being here tonight. And I say this to everyone, you know, the days and months and weeks after the state of the city last year were my toughest as mayor. You know, to have such a profound loss happen on a day like that was just something I couldn't make sense of, you know. So again, in thinking of this year, you know, Reverend Helen was just such a force in the community. I wanted to find a way to honor that. So we did create the Reverend Helen Murgida Awards tonight. And I'll just point this out. I don't know, nobody's pointed it out yet, but there's an empty seat next to me tonight, and that was supposed to be Helen's seat last year. So I wanted to honor that and just know that she's really present with us tonight. So just to better explain like what the award's all about, I'm just going to read what the description was. The Reverend Helen Murgida Award. Reverend Helen Murgida was a devoted advocate, interfaith minister, and champion for justice and inclusion. This new annual award celebrates individuals who exemplify Reverend Helen's unwavering commitment to serving others and making our community a better place. Recipients of this award demonstrate selfless dedication to advocating for the underserved, building bridges between diverse groups, and fostering a spirit of love, justice, and unity within Newburyport. Much like Reverend Helen, they embody the belief that service to others is not only a responsibility, but a profound privilege. Through their actions, awardees remind us to approach challenges with humility, to listen with compassion, and to act with courage. Values Reverend Helen lived by every day. This award stands as a tribute to her extraordinary life and an inspiration for all of us to continue her mission for making Newburyport a place of inclusion, for hope, and for boundless potential. All right, so on to the first recipient of the Reverend Helen Murgida Award. So I'm gonna say the name, but then I'm gonna read a little bit about it, and then I'm gonna ask the winners to come up, the recipients. The Reverend Dr. Jared Mercer and the Afghan Evacuee Housing Volunteer Team. Now, under Father Jared's leadership and guidance, the parishioners of St. Paul's Episcopal Church joined other faith communities in the area to support 2 Afghan families who were resettled in Newburyport in 2022. Through extraordinary generosity over several years, the team of volunteers made the families and their children feel at home by creating living space in the church basement, setting up carpools for kids' sports and doctor's appointments, arranging tutoring, procuring furniture, bikes, and toys, helping the adults find jobs, and ultimately finding permanent housing for them. Under Father Jared's leadership and advocacy with the state, the team of volunteers expanded the circle of concern by creating opportunities for others to easily step in and help out. These combined efforts made the entire Newburyport community stronger. The parish became a beacon of how good people who care about justice can work together to create change. Father Jared and his team truly walked the walk. In his words, "This is why we exist, to live as this continued expression of Christ's love and mercy in the world in our place today." This award celebrates individuals who exemplify Reverend Helen's unwavering commitment to serving others and making our community a better place. Father Jared and his team of volunteers demonstrate selfless dedication to advocating for the underserved, building bridges between diverse groups, and fostering a spirit of love, justice, and unity within Newburyport. Please put your hands together for the Reverend Dr. Jared Mercer and the Afghan Refugee Volunteer Team. I told you this was the fun part. Next up is, oh, okay. I'm going to give these out after to them because I'm not prepared. All right, next up is the Business Service Award. M.K. Benatti, Jewelers, Karen and Matt Khatib. From the day Matt and Karen Khatib opened their jewelry business here, they found ways to engage and support our community. They initially named their store Winston Jewelers, but soon found themselves in a potential legal battle for the use of that name. Their response was to instead use the name M.K. Benatti Jewelers and use the funds that had been reserved for the potential legal battle, about $20,000, to donate to the Jeannie Geiger Crisis Center. Now, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that story. Now, whether it is for the Newburyport Education Foundation, Anna Jake's Hospital, Theater in the Open, Our Neighbor's Table, and other nonprofits, Matt and Karen are there donating a beautiful piece of jewelry or shopping spree to raise funds for the cause. Just recently, their daughter Aya, I hope I said that right, I'm sorry if I didn't, noticed the NEF vending machines at the Bresnahan in Mullen needed books. Her efforts, along with her parents' support, added 400 new books. Matt and Karen, despite being humble regarding their charity work, have given much to our city as residents and as business owners. M.K. Benatti Jewelers has been a significant addition to our downtown, enhancing business and supporting our economy. They are well deserving of this recognition. Please welcome up Matt and Karen. All right, the first individual community service award tonight goes to Mary Frado. More than 7 years ago, Mary, who at the time had recently moved to Newburyport, was looking for a way to give back to our new community and share her love of cooking. She began volunteering with the Among Friends meal program, which is part of the mission at St. Paul's Episcopal Church on High Street and is under the direction of Bonnie Schultz. She began by delivering hot meals to individuals and families in need, and soon quickly increased her commitment to Among Friends by volunteering once a week to preparing meals with a team of talented chefs. Mary relished the challenge of developing well-balanced, nutritious meals based on the food donations generously provided by the Boston Food Bank and local organizations such as Nourishing the North Shore and Our Neighbor's Table. Depending on the week, Among Friends receives poultry, beef, pork, and fish, along with vegetables and fruits. Her creativity, innovation, ability to transform an often random assortment of donated ingredients, which vary wildly from week to week, into nutritious, appealing, satisfying meals is a gift and an inspiration to us all. Mary not only took great pride in developing the menu and cooking, she quickly saw the difference this program made for the community and for the members who came in to dine at the program and others who had meal delivered by volunteers. Today, Among Friends prepares 2,000 meals a month to serve and deliver 3 times a week to our neighbors. There's more. No, we can clap. There's more. When the local bakery that donated desserts to the meal program closed, Mary once again was quick to step in. She began baking a wide array of treats. She soon expanded her time at Among Friends by baking 1 to 3 days a week. If she is unable to go to the program to bake, she prepares desserts at home, which are then available to freeze to make sure the meal program always has very popular treats for the participants. In recent years, in addition to cooking and baking, Mary has expanded her volunteer role to packing and delivering meals during the Christmas holiday, participating in regional fundraising efforts, and mentoring other volunteers and chefs at the Among Friends meal program. She also recruited friends to volunteer at the Among Friends site. Mary has witnessed firsthand the reality of how food insecurity in Newburyport and the surrounding communities affects entire families, senior citizens, children, and young people, as well as individuals from diverse backgrounds who are struggling with homelessness and other challenges. The opportunity to dine in community at Among Friends has helped countless folks develop friendships, combat loneliness and isolation. She has seen the enormous difference a healthy meal and friendship and fellowship can make the lives on our neighbors. Please welcome Mary Frado. That was awesome. Our next recipient, Ben Iacono. Ben Iacono is a passionate advocate for our environment who has worked relentlessly to educate and inspire our community about the importance of environmental stewardship. Now, Ben has committed countless hours of time and energy to develop and implement impactful programs and initiatives that benefit citizens of all ages. His efforts are particularly evident through his active involvement with the Alliance of Climate and Environmental Stewards, ACES, where he plays a crucial role in fostering a culture of environmental responsibility. Additionally, at the Newburyport Senior Community Center, Ben has been a beacon of inspiration, engaging in both the Council of Aging staff and the Department of Public Services to strive towards their ambitious goal of achieving a zero-waste facility. Ben championed the start of composting efforts at the community center. He worked with the Office of Recycling, Energy and Sustainability, the COA director, and the facilities maintenance staff to provide proper and accessible receptacles. The Drop the Bag, Get a Program policy and created a way to monitor compost levels. Ben oversees the compost initiative at the Senior Center, ensuring that sustainable practices are deeply integrated into its operations. Another one of Ben's notable contributions is the creation of the Eco Ambassador Program. This initiative empowers senior volunteers known as Eco Ambassadors to champion the Zero Waste Initiative at the community center. These enthusiastic individuals not only educate their peers about the principles of environmental stewardship, but also collaborate in developing compelling topics for the Eco Conversation Program. In addition to this impactful work at the community center, Ben is collaborating with the Parks Department to launch an exciting new program featuring park ambassadors. This initiative, which debuted this year, aims to enhance public engagement with Newburyport's beautiful parks through educational programs and guided walking tours. Last fall, the Parks Ambassadors successfully organized 2 enriching walks, one that explored the scenic south end of Newburyport, including the Rail Trail, Joppa Park, and Hale Park, and another that focused on the vibrant High Street neighborhood, featuring Upper Atkinson Common and Cornelius J. Doyle Triangle. With plans to continue this initiative in the spring and expand the variety of walking tours offered, Ben's vision for a more connected and environmentally conscious community is truly taking shape. Please put your hands together for Ben Iacono. Just a reminder to all the award winners too, afterwards, if you could come up to the front here, we also have citations from the state auditor's office as well. Okay, on to the last couple here. We have the Public Service Award, and the first recipient is Laurel Hankey. In 2012, the city of Newburyport received a grant from the Walmart Foundation to employ people with disabilities in electronics recycling. Since that time, Laurel Hankey has overseen the program and staff. Laurel has consistently demonstrated outstanding dedication and compassion in her role as recycling assistant. With a deep commitment to inclusivity and empowerment, she has excelled in providing personalized support and care to these individuals. Her work ethic is marked by reliability, adaptability, and a proactive approach to problem solving, ensuring the highest quality of service for those she oversees. One of her most notable qualities is her exceptional patience, just like all of you are doing right now with all the time you have to listen to me. Laurel approaches every interaction with empathy and understanding, creating a safe and respectful environment for the individuals feel valued and supported. She actively listens to the needs and concerns of the Recycling Center staff, fostering trust and promoting confidence in their abilities. In addition to her hands-on support, Laurel has played a vital role in advocating for accessibility and equality. She's gone above and beyond to implement creative solutions to challenges, enabling greater independence and inclusion for the individuals we serve. Her efforts has not only enriched the lives of this staff, but also inspired colleagues and community members alike. Laurel's unwavering dedication, ethical integrity, and compassionate demeanor make her a role model and a true asset to our city and community. Please give it up for Laurel Hankey. All right, next Public Service Award recipient is Kyle McElroy. Officer Kyle McElroy has worked as a Newburyport police officer since 2016. Officer McElroy was raised in Newburyport and graduated from Newburyport High School. Go Clippers. He recently took on the role as school resource officer. Often referred to as students as Officer Kyle, he is by far one of the best school resource officers the Newburyport Police has ever had, knowing each student by name. This past summer, a local resident dressed up as Batman, true story, and would walk the streets bouncing a basketball. And it's not me. I know a lot of people think it's me. That guy is in much better shape than I am. So Batman ended up at Perkins Playground and started playing basketball with the kids at a Newburyport Recreation Youth Services program. Officer Kyle McElroy challenged Batman to a game of one-on-one with the kids cheering him on. The kids in attendance were on the younger side, with all the kids chanting and rooting for him. Officer McElroy ultimately beat Batman. That's not how I remember the story. What young kid would not root for Batman? It showed how much all of these kids had true admiration for the officer that walks the halls of the same schools that they do. The The Newburyport High School class of 2024 senior yearbook was dedicated to Officer Kyle McElroy. Following are some of the quotes accompanying this dedication. He always puts a smile on everyone's face and makes everyone at school feel welcome, always bringing positivity to the school. And he was always kind to everyone in our grade, super easy to talk to, and showed that he cared about us. Officer McElroy has made each and every moment that he has been in the school system a positive one. Most importantly, Officer McElroy has immersed himself in every student's life and has showed that he truly cares for and protects them. We are truly lucky to have him. Please welcome Officer Kyle McElroy. All right, last two. Youth Community Service Award. Madeline Jackman. Madeline took a community initiative at Newburyport High School that will hopefully save lives and make our city a safer place for tourists and residents alike. When she was 10 years old, she choked on a piece of steak at a restaurant and stopped breathing. As she started to pass out, someone who had been trained in CPR and knew how to perform the Heimlich maneuver saved her life. That experience inspired her to establish the Newburyport High School Red Cross Club and rally members from around the mission to provide free American Red Cross CPR training course to the employees at every Newburyport public school. So there's always someone qualified to perform life-saving CPR and act in a life-threatening situation. After hosting several community events to raise awareness of the need for CPR training to save lives, she and her classmates secured funding from many generous community donors, including the Institution for Savings and Newburyport Development, to implement this project. What makes this initiative so unique is that it's not a one-time effort, but rather a sustained readiness that will benefit the Newburyport community and visitors for years to come. To provide the sustainable mechanism for NHS Red Cross students to lead this effort for maintaining preparedness, their project has not only allowed several club leaders to become CPR trained, but they are now fully certified as Red Cross CPR instructors. This way, each year, certified upperclassmen can certify incoming club members as the next team of instructors to lead an annual effort through Newburyport to provide free American Red Cross CPR certification to restaurants during the busy summer and seasons ahead. Maddie and her team had just held a free training for the event staff members of several Newburyport restaurants and are continuing to spread the word and raise money so they can provide training for anyone who is interested. Please welcome up Maddie Jackman. Last but certainly not least, and thank you all for hanging in there with me, Cedar Schumacher. Cedar Schumacher is a Newburyport High School student being recognized for his exceptional contributions in managing sound engineering for many school and community productions. Over the past few years, Cedar has truly enhanced the quality of these performances at the high school and in the community through his expertise in sound engineering, musical performance, and general technical support. If it sounds good, Cedar must be working behind the scenes making it happen. From high school graduations to the recent community talent show, and I will say even more recently to our school committee meetings, Cedar has consistently shown a collaborative spirit. His technical skills and musical knowledge, combined with his willingness to step up and help, make him an asset to our community. CEDA's work backstage has ensured smooth and seamless audio experiences for both performers and audiences alike, the importance of which cannot be overstressed. This recognition is a well-deserved acknowledgement of CEDA Schumacher's talents and community spirit. His willingness to help and make so many productions a success is essential in helping to keep our community connected. Please welcome CEDA Schumacher. All right, we did it. Just in closing, I mean, the crowd here tonight is amazing. Thank you so much for coming out. I know Survivor, I think, starts tonight, season 50, so I appreciate everyone being here. Thank you again to Governor Healey. I mean, it's just an incredible honor for you to be here. I said this earlier at an event, but the Healey-Driscoll administration is absolutely a true partner. They walk the walk. They're here trying to help us each and every day, trying to do the important things to get stuff done. And we have a lot more to do, so we know we're going to be leaning on our partners at the state level. State Auditor Zaglio, singing, speaking, thank you again for being here. Thank you for not talking about the auditing stuff too much, I guess, too, that's a good thing. Just to my team real quick, Kim Turner, Christian Sear, and especially Christine Jackson for putting this night together. I couldn't do without you. To my department heads, I know most of you up there, it is an absolute privilege to get to work with you each and every day. We are so lucky to have so many talented people working for the city of Newburyport. And not just department heads, thank you to our city staff. It was great to recognize some of them tonight. I especially want to call out Mike Bartlett for helping us with all the logistics tonight. Thank you, Mike. Thank you to our award winners. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep setting that example. What separates Newburyport from everywhere else is the people. So thank you so much. Thank you to my family for their love and support. And for the last time, thank you to the city clerk, Richard Jones, for emceeing tonight's event and for his many years of service to Newburyport. Have a great night. Be safe. Maybe I'll see you across the street in a little bit. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you.